What the hell is this place anyway?
¿No hay nadie? Qué raro.
Son, looks like a pack of ne'er-do-wells have laid siege to the local general store. Son, hopefully they've left some sundries in there, preferably of the hot fudge variety.
Hola. ¿Hay alguien ahí? Esto no me gusta.
Alright, enough of that. I'm sure y'all don't want to deal with watching all these cutscenes and such when I'm just doing a gimmicky playthrough, which I'll talk more about after we skip a cutscene, ironically enough. Oh no, King Crimson stole some time, and in that time, the sheriff got eat up. Oh yeah, first of all, get this out of my hands, boys. Talk about shameful. Alright, he's going to stumble by. We're just going to run around him and have us a grand old time at the Gala Ball. We'll just let this crowd sort themselves out. But now we're going to see Sheriff Redfield from the famous Claire Dare Revolver right here, which means I want to leave this cutscene in. But Leon fires his handgun in the cutscene. No, it's not canon. Okay. Just like when it forced Claire to have that revolver against Billy B in the cutscene. Look, this is the sequel to my Claire Dare Revolver video I put up about a week ago. I mean, if you're watching this in the future, you know, adjust your times accordingly. But, so you might want to watch that one first, just to establish the general tone, son, and the back and forth between Sheriff Claire Redfield and Deputy Kennedy. Son, we're doing it backwards because you had to do the B scenario to get the revolver, the namesake revolver. So now we're seeing what happened through Deputy Kennedy. What happened is a zombie in the distance was a stuttering about. I like to stop right here and let this gentleman notice me, and then he's easier to run around. Alright, so anyway.
Hola. ¿Hay alguien ahí?
Son, I just wanted to hear some Espanol from Deputy Kennedy here, son. It's so rare. Should we watch Elliot? We'll watch a little bit of Elliot on our ThinkPad. Can we install El Diablo on this thing, son? Or, God forbid, El Diablo 2? I don't think that was out in 1998. Now that I'm thinking about it. Boys, Elliot had the worst time of it. When are we going to get his, like, prequel story? Episode Elliot, son. Just get the crowd that made Final Fantasy 15. Sorry, I haven't unlocked any saves yet, so I'm not allowed to talk about Final Fantasy games. You just point at the jar. It's put $1 in whenever you mention Final Fantasy. Okay, so the gimmick of this playthrough, if you hadn't picked up on it, because I realized I haven't actually told you yet in the video, is we're only going to use the shotgun and, you know, grenades and knives and such. because they don't count. They're rings and consumables in Dark Souls. They're not your main equipment. But because I think that'll be easier than Claire's time with the Colt revolver, I'm not going to use the infinite knife. Son, it's the ultimate handicap. It's gotten me through a lot of fucking Tenfei Resident Evil 2 playthroughs and randomizers, son. Infinite knife put me on its back from Madden. So interestingly enough, for those of you who aren't in the know of the game, this sheriff's deputy uniform we're wearing is not a mod. It's one of the ones you can actually get in the game. So I like this like alternate universe reality where Leon, instead of being a Raccoon City police officer, is a deputy sheriff for the county, son. And if you've seen Super Troopers, that means they're fierce rivals. We won't even bring the state troopers into it, son. I have no need for 9mm bullets. You must be programmed for being fired out of Matildas and lesser revolvers. That's correct, sir. I have no use. I couldn't keep it going. Okay, hold on. Rapido. If he'd have said Andale and Andale or Arriba, son, I'd have got over there just a little bit faster.
Dame la mano. Te tengo.
Okay, I think we've seen enough of Elliot Senpai's Good Times Adventures. All right, you son of a bitch, get in here. I may not have a shotgun, but I have the shotgun within my heart. Splay yourself over this desk. God, came to work drunk. It's a dereliction of duty is what it is. All right, we're just going to try dashing through. Pretend it's Dark Souls, son. If we just get to the door and trigger the door animation, they're not allowed to hurt us. Oh, God. Did anyone else's asshole clench up for a second there?
Se acabó. Por ahora.
Gracias.
Marvin Branagh.
Leon Kennedy.
I wanted to hear them introduce themselves. Look at that Don Cannon handgun in that holster. No, sir. No, stop. You're ruining the playthrough. Knives are good. Thank you, Marvin Senpai. It won't let me pull a knife on Marvin Senpai even as a joke. So if we wanted to explain in universe why we're doing this gimmicky challenge, it's Sheriff Redfield, like Deputy Kennedy, he's kind of like a Barney Fife type deputy, and he kept accidentally like shooting his gun whenever he would put it back in the holster, and like eventually he hit someone in the foot. And so Sheriff Redfield forbade him to ever wield a handgun again, but she didn't realize that she didn't specify the shotgun. So if we get a hold of it, son, there's nothing she could do. Son, she's too honorable and beholden to the law. He was just hanging around in that hallway. There's no need to think about it. Now, unfortunately, we couldn't get the board from Fat Chubb's secret fun loot closet. So we can't stop this lady from breaking in, but we can stop her from ever fucking walking again. Now remember, this isn't an infinite knife, so we can't just take out all of our frustrations on every zombie we see. Let's grab the map for fun. It's a good thing. All right. Unfortunately, I can't really deal with Fat Chubbs at the moment. Now, his friend over here, I would love to get one of his legs off of him, but once you start attacking his friend, Fat Chubbs, it comes to his rescue, son. He's got a heart of gold. Hey, folks, here's a story about Fat Chubbs the Moocher. I can't carry that one forward. Now, we can obtain boards here and prevent this gentleman. And remember, in the B scenario, he doesn't wait. He just 360 no-scopes through here. All right, hopefully Fat Chubbs will forget about us. Hopefully he hasn't recently watched The Breakfast Club. Or that episode of Futurama about the 7-leaf clover, I believe. Remember Futurama? And the lore? Okay. So another nice thing about this challenge we're doing is there's no limitation on saving. And this is, I've not actually completed this playthrough yet. I've done some practice runs, but they don't get too terribly far. In fact, you can see me saving over those saves right now, and you can trace back the genealogy of the date. You're like, isn't that chronology? And I'm like, wait, you fucking dude. I think there's a gunpowder in here, is there not? Now, we actually want gunpowders in this playthrough because we need them to make shotgun shells. But remember, you need a yeller gunpowder, son. Because using a shotgun, you're inherently yeller because you're too cowardly. Okay, this guy right here, if we're lucky, we can get him to fall over the rail like a sack of peeling potatoes. He's probably going to chase us in here. In the shower room. So while we're waiting for him, we can open this. Remember, the combination is CAP. It's short for Captain Commando. Captain's Kick. Captain's Soda. I actually liked Captain America in the Marvel vs. Capcom games, even though I didn't really know who he was from. I remember vaguely one time walking through an establishment that had some arcade cabinets, and there was one that looked like a beat-em-up type game, or as I would have called it, like a Ninja Turtles type game. And one of the characters was like a baby in a mech, and it like always stuck with me. And it turns out that was Captain Commando. You don't think that zombie's right on the other side of that door, do you? Zombie. Okay, there he is. Come on, baby. Peeling potatoes, son. We're not lucky. The best thing to do would be to trap him in the showers temporarily. Because unfortunately he's guarding the spade key. And without the spade key, we can't get the shotgun. Come on, buddy. Let's have a good time in the showers. Pennywise ain't in here. I promise. Although you might see a dick sticking through a hole in the wall. Okay. Ha ha ha. Hee hee hee. Okay. He's going to be in there angry for a little bit, but luckily he can cool off. Let off some steam in the showers. Luckily in A scenario, there's no additional zombie. Now, I have no use for this locker, so you'll just have to carry on in your heart. I like to think if you're a long-time Tenfei viewer, then you hear the recurring Tenfei bits in your mind, even if I don't say them. I have you programmed. Tenfei Ultra program has been a huge success. Okay, we have to decide our route. Well, ain't you just real spooky? Ideally, I would like to go through the East Office to get back and not the library. Because there's a certain bunch in there. Las Bunches de Biblioteca. They're calling us some part.
Necesito que vengas cuanto antes.
¿Estás bien, Marvin?
Quiero enseñarte algo. Es importante.
Recibido. Voy para allá.
The library bunch. I thought Sheriff Redfield had run you out of town. You know they're not scared of Deputy Kennedy. The library bunch, they don't even look up. Well, they'll glance up from their periodicals and such. Okay, hopefully Fat Chubbs won't wake up just a second. Chonka chonka. They can't leave the library in the A scenario, at least not at this point. Marvin's aura. Marvin's paladin-like aura protects this area. I want to run over there and get the key card and open that door, but I don't have any inventory spaces, so we're just going to have to trigger this cutscene.
Has vuelto. Ven, mira.
Sí.
He's like, there's some random lady at the back gate, and he's like, hold your tongue, mister. That's Sheriff Redfield. She'll have you hog-tied for using the incorrect suffix in her name. One time, Deputy Kennedy referred to her as Sheriff Claire Dono. Son, he learned from that mistake, boys. Okay, what are we going to have? We're going to have that. We've got to run through some zombies that we've left, mainly that Fat Chubbs and the guy we cut his leg off of. I don't have a name. Why don't I have a name for that? I have a name for almost every prefixed zombie in this game. Son, you're like, I know. the future Tenfei historian listening to this, who constantly has to update the future Tenfei archives with all of the deep, rich lore and canon, is like, yeah, I know. It's real cute. Boys. The future Tenfei historians are so tsundere. God bless them. I hope they all made it to the bottom platform. If you don't get that reference and you're in the future, when the Tenfei historical archives exist, you can probably look up. There's probably an article titled, "All Historians Proceed to the Bottom Platform." And you'll get all that rich lore. And if you're watching this because your friend recommended it, and it's the first Tenfei video you've ever seen, make sure you question your friend. Because he doesn't seem to be making good choices. All right, the lion puts a herb on the fat pigeon. Here in the A scenario, the medallion combos are more sensible. No children judging the worm competition, or goats playing harps for ravens. That doesn't even make fucking sense. Oh, I need to slap that thing into that thing. So put you here. I do want to keep this knife on me at all times. Okay, that's going to disappear when we use it. So I'm not as worried about that. All right. Let's take care of some maintenance, we'll call it. Because if we don't trigger the cutscene with the crashed helicopter where we meet Claire through the fence, then these zombies won't start pouring in yet. So we can preemptively board these windows up. Now that lady might be in here crawling around mad. Yeah, my God, get a fucking hobby. I'm going to board this up before someone has a chance to come in here and bother me. While I'm, let's say, disciplining this lady, is the term we'll use. You're making me waste the most of my fucking knife. You know these things are for Billy B, don't you? You know how mad he's going to be when he realized I used one of his knives on regular zombies like this? Oh, I forgot we still need the other board to... Oh, wait, we're going to get that when we pop the lock in here. So we'll have to deal with one more zombie than we potentially want to. All right, this is a risky gambit, because if Fat Chubbs is all Loris, we can't really do much about him, but hopefully he spawns not nearby. Okay, there's that guy crawling around. Fat Chubbs is probably hanging out here, around this corner. Yeah, I see you. The silhouette. I've got to solve one of them combo puzzles. So here we go. First try every time, baby. Son, would you believe me if I told you it took me less than a minute? Because I wouldn't blame you if you didn't believe me. But it is true. And by that I mean, of course, it was first time every time, baby. Haha, not even close. Give me my knife, my gachapon knife. Do you accept Diners International weapons locker cards? Hell yeah, baby. Justice has entered the chat. Shotgun has entered our world. Billy B and his minions grow stronger. But it doesn't matter because I carry Justice with me. All right, I like these doors that give you a peek. Yeah, everyone feels real fucking bad for you, buddy. Tell you what, you're the first one to get Justice doled out to you. How's that sound? Had to put him down. He fell in a ravine and broke his leg. Nothing could be done. Let's see if this man in here wakes up to Justice. We'll make sure that he does. Hell yeah. The good times. Okay, here we go. 9, 15, and 7. Now, Deputy Kennedy has a lot of free time because of all the time Sheriff Redfield just tells him to just go home for the day. He's done enough damage. So he's played a lot of them Final Fantasies. Although, in the time period he exists in, 7 is the only one of those that exists. You kids, you don't know what it was like. I lived in a time when the first Final Fantasy was the only Final Fantasy that we had here in America. All right, Fat Chubbs. You son of a bitch. You got me. Okay. I was going to say, we might as well clean this crowd up before they go full aggro. before any chunks of awesome rocks are awarded. All right, this lady right here is. Don't feel bad for her. I promise she was a huge bitch. You're like, I don't know if that's still justified. Blowing someone's head off. Okay, buddy boy. We're getting lucky because sometimes they tank one of these shots. Or as I like to call it, cheat. Sometimes the zombies just cheat. Low down, no good, cheating scoundrels. That's what Leon suggested they call the zombies. When everyone was doing that thing where they had to come up with their dumb, stupid term for what zombies are going to be called in this universe, someone's like, what if we called them shamblers? It's good. And then someone else is like, no, we must call them nibblers. Nibblers! And then everyone looked at Deputy Kennedy. Son, and when they edited down the 3-minute expletive-filled rant that he launched into, down into what could publicly be said among Dixie folk, that was the result, was that thing I said earlier. Don't ever ask me to repeat it. Okay. So what's left? Oh, we have to go advance the damn plot of the game, I guess. Might as well save again. Save your game. When no one is around you. Say, typewriter, I love you. All right, Marvin. Boom.
Así que Elliot tenía razón.
Son, Elliot Senpai was justified. Oh, Marvin was like giving one last respectful like homage to Elliot Senpai, and then Deputy Kennedy had to immediately drag him down. He's like, yeah, he was right. Door's still fucking closed, by the way. If Elliot Senpai's lower torso and upper torso could just reunite, we could solve this whole scenario for great justice. Take off every shotgun.
¡Leon! ¡Claire! ¡Espera! ¡Enseguida voy!
Vale.
Claire. Me alegro de verte.
¿Cómo estás? Ese helicóptero salió de la nada.
Aún de una pieza.
All right, enough telenovo there. Enough lusty, longing looks. How do you say that in Spanish? That's what they should call their soap operas.
Marvin, ¿me recibes?
All right, bolt cutters have been achieved. So that's where Claire's scenario began, if you remember, which means all the shit we were doing up to this point, Claire was just running through the streets trying to get here. God bless her heart, she didn't have that Colt single action army, so she wasn't allowed to fight the zombies. Fall through that window. I fucking want you to. Oh no, he tanked one. Asshole. Alright, we want to place this board in here to prevent the preemptive window zombie. I'm actually going to remember, unlike I did at the beginning of the Claire playthrough. I'm telling you, you really need to have watched that before this one if you want to get the full scope. All the cool inside references, son. You don't want to have to go on YouTube and watch somebody's breakdown of top 10 Claire Dare Revolver references in Shotgun Justice featuring Leon Kennedy. Volume 2. You'd have to watch that at 4x speed somehow to make it through it. Alright, we get to mix up our first batch of shotgun shells. Unfortunately, we don't have access to any big gunpowders for a while. The big gunny powders. Now, those zombies we ran past at the beginning are out there being huge asses. So the moment we pull that away, they're going to be able to break in. But luckily, our backside is clear. You always want to keep a clear backside when you're dealing with situations like this. So here's the plan, TM. We're going to let them all come in here. So that way I can run around the other side. There shouldn't be any zombies out here in the hallway now. So let's take a detour to the ladies' room. Gorsh. Okay. And now we can loot the boards out of Fat Chubbs' loot locker, we'll call it. Oh no! I don't even want that green herb. It was stupid. I'm glad it's gone. I could have ran over here and put this thing in there and ran back, but by that point, that crowd might have busted back out here, and then we'd have another situation we had to deal with. Mitigate your situations. That's my philosophy when I play a Resident Evil game. So we can use this board to plug up that window that we've left unplugged for so long up to this point. But there'll either be a zombie in the hallway now, or one will come in through the window, or both. So this guy has gotten board blocked, as zombies call it. So, man, I was going to get a big juicy chunk out of somebody last night, but I got totally fucking board blocked, brah. My evening was in shambles. Yeah, there he is. Additional Fat Chubbs in rear. Well, look at you. Good and hearty. Carl's Jr. We'll name her. Oh, God, Fat Chubbs learned how to juke, son. He became a Punch-Out character. All right, first things first, block this shit up. And then give me my damn knife back. Look at all the durability he stole from it. Yeah, you crowd are real fucking scary. Whatever. Baka zombies. Oh, I'm so frazzled that I forgot what bolt cutters and valve handles were. I'll take the detonator. All of this good shit coming to me, getting shit done and living life free. Just a little tune to get you through your Resident Evil playthroughs. Also, some cold drinks wouldn't hurt. Right, what are we doing? I believe we've eliminated all obstacles. And now you and I will battle to the death. Only in that can my soul find respite. These boards, if I go all the way around, I can board those windows up. Which I do want to do. So I guess I'll just keep them in my inventory. Why not? It's like the ham in Clock Tower, son. You don't want to be caught without the ham. Despite what JonTron's joking nature would lead you to believe in his Clock Tower video, you need that ham. Well, not necessarily. You only need it if you get locked up with old, hungry Mr. Barrows. Did that happen to me in my Clock Tower playthrough I did for Halloween one year? 10F Historians. I'm adding you in the comments. Yeah, whatever. Everybody's real fucking scared. Alright. Got that. Got that. Got this. Got Rebecca Chambers' secret first aid spray. Son, it's like hiding Jolly Ranchers in your desk. Albert Wesker can smell even an unopened can of first aid spray. He's against them. He's like, don't you know they lower your rank? And Brad, like, tries to chime up to tell him that's only an original Resident Evil 2. But Wesker just, like, barely turns his head towards him. And Brad just is like, oh, nothing. Yeah. Lower your rank. Yes, sir, Wesker. Mm-hmm. Jackass. He's like, well, was that Mr. Vickers? I'm sorry. I deigned to hear what you just muttered under your breath. I'm sure it was quite impressive. Alright. We had to burn a lot of knife, but we got rid of an asshole. Now, remember, the library bunch still lives. We knife, but they live. Alright, the fish and the lobster made a potion. See? Talk about earnest, good old-fashioned, God-fearing puzzle combinations. Do we need that gunpowder? There's a lot more gunpowder A's than there are B's, so we don't have to grab all of them. Alright, that lady's probably on the stairs. Oh, she's not. Where could she be? Somewhere getting up to no good. I told Sheriff Redfield that killing y'all once wouldn't be enough. Okay, she's hanging out with her good friend, the ass-eating zombie. Or as I like to call him, the headshot at zombie, formerly known as the ass-eating zombie. Oh, You're just going to pretend that that didn't happen, huh? Revealing your true nature. The library bunch will eat itself. Yes, sir. I'll always remember that day that Deputy Kennedy brought justice to the library. And if you ask how much, it's a whole bunch of justice. Even Sheriff Redfield was impressed. She couldn't show it directly because of her stoic nature, but the way she showed it is when they went to the local diner to eat breakfast the next morning, when she placed Deputy Kennedy's order for him, as she always does. Instead of just regular grits, she asked for grits with sausage gravy on them, son. The waitress almost fainted when she said it. Yes, sir. Flashbang justice is about to ensue. So get ready for it. Alright, this is Althena. Fires an arrow at the D's nut snake. Where you at? Here's how we deal with this liquor right now. Is we throw this flashbang. He gets flash bunged, I think is the past tense of that. And then we calmly exit the area as heroes. Now, we shouldn't ever need to go through there again unless we're being chased by Mr. X. And if that's happening, then we're already in a dicey situation. You know, I never really paid attention to this painting of like a man being besieged by angels. And there's also like a littler painting down here. It's very pleasant, I guess. Cool. We're going to solve the puzzle and open the tunnel. And then me and Marvin Senpai are going to escape to the Cracker Barrel. Oh, no, that's where they were eating breakfast when he got them fucking sausage gravy grits. That makes a lot more sense. You're like, it does? I don't understand how you quantify this shit. I don't understand the Tenfei method. Okay, we're going to have to make plans for Billy B, but in the meantime, we're going to make the long journey around. No, there are going to be 2 zombies in the fucking hallway now. Damn it. I want to board up that window over there because there will be an additional zombie we have to deal with later if we don't. But remember, we left all 3, Fat Chubbs and his 2 friends. That's also the Hanna-Barbera Saturday morning cartoon spin-off of Fat Chubbs that no one fondly remembers. That's right, kids. It's time for Fat Chubbs and his 2 friends. Always hanging out in dank hallways. Okay, I see 2 of you standing in there. So we might be safe. Just keep your periphery vision in all directions. Be like Yafia, the fucking B-star. Be a huge asshole horseman. Okay. Is he actually hanging out in there? He was trying to revive. No, that's that original zombie that fell over that desk. I'm always used to him being gone. Because I believe he is when you come back from the basement. Is that right? It's another zombie I need to give a name to. I'm like Rimuru from Slime Desuga or whatever that anime is called. The best part is if you don't give a shit about anime, you don't know if I'm making that up because it sounds so much like what an anime would be called. I believe the Bakugaijin refer to it as that time I was reincarnated as a slime. It just rolls off the tongue, does it not? If we need more than 1 first aid spray, then we've already fucked up. So, okay, I'm going to save out here in case for some reason I realize only too late that I didn't bring enough stuff to fight Billy B. But I don't foresee that happening. When I lose to Billy B, it's usually more to bad execution than it is ill preparedness. Yeah, you can't bring Marvin. He's too sad and sick. So let's just skip the cutscene before we start tearing up. Alright, so the plan, as always, fighting Billy B involves knives. And we've maintained A decent chunk of them. Enough to get us through the fight, I guess. And if it comes to last resort and son, if Papa Roach shows up, we'll just have to start emptying this shotgun into his arm eyeball. Just thinking about it gave me glottal air. Also, we'll have a backup grenade, like Joe Dirt. Alright. Billy B. If Sheriff Redfield ain't here to deal out knifey justice, I'll have to do it myself. I know my way around a cutting iron, too. Alright, before he grabs you, switch to a flashbang. Boom. And we should get him into a second staggered state. If we just keep slashing him. Yep. And now when he gets up this time, he's not going to get staggered. It's like when Homer finally boxed Dredrick Tatum, when his strategy was to just let the boxers wear themselves out because he was so durable. And Marge was like, this one's not going to fall down, Homer. He's just going to punch you to death. Please take actions to prevent this horrible tragedy, like Doc Brown wearing that bulletproof vest, son. Okay, he's going to grab me, so equip a lesser knife. Jab that in him. And now we're just going to have to go neck bones for the rest of the fight. We've used up all of our gimmicks. All you've got are your bloody knives and your flashbang gimmicks. We've got G-Virus. No, what you have is a big fucking eyeball on your arm. And the hope that when all of my knives break, you're no longer standing. Because if you are, then I'm completely fucked. Not quite as badass as V's original speech, was it? Okay. I told you it was going to be by the book Billy B. battling. That's what I call it to the chief of Tenfei as well. And even though he hates it because I came up with it, it's such a good acronym that he kept it. He just doesn't acknowledge where it came from. He's like, all right, at today's meeting, we're going to be discussing BBBBB. I'm like, is that game where you like turn... Oh, God, I grabbed 9mm bullets. I was so swept up in my dumb little... parable, we'll call it. Anecdote? What do you call a Tenfeiism when using actual literary terms? A soliloquy? Anecdote probably works. Although it's like a constructed scenario. I don't know if that counts as an anecdote. I don't know if that would cure your poison. I just realized we're going to get to hear Ada's Espanol dubbing. We're going to have us the best telenovo moments. Take your time. Hopefully Welch's are tasting real good to you, taking all that time. Remember those jars of Tom and Jerry jelly that everyone kept as like drinking glasses? Is that still a thing? Okay, store everything. And we'll sort it from there. In non-hardcore scenarios, there's an additional fanny pack in there. Can you imagine? What are we going to want to carry with us? We're not going to be able to deal with all the dogs like we normally do when we've got the Matilda or some variant. So unfortunately, we can't take that with us. We're taking this as a genuine self-defense item. I mean, we might as well bring what ammo we have. We can mix another thing of shotgun shells And they're the shotgun shells on the firing range. And if we go grab those first, those 2 zombies won't wake up. Not even to justice. We're having to save over the Claire playthrough, son. We're erasing the past to create the future. To reference recent anime that the kids are hyped about, Deputy Kennedy can see Claire Redfield's future memories. Son. Attack on shotgun.
Vaya. Requiere tarjeta. Puede ser. ¿Quién eres?
Cuidado.
Oh no, I had to skip the cutscene because it came down canon.
No hemos terminado de hablar.
Lord, I got to clean up this uniform. Give me a second, y'all. There we go. I had to regenerate my uniform. Deputy Kennedy learned how to do that when he kept a spill in his sun drops on his shirt every time he drank one. I don't really need to deal with him. The flashbang we throw during the great prison escape sequence. So when Luca comes to rescue us and we have to fight the dragon tank on the bridge, he'll get flashbanged during that as well.
Oh, por fin, un ser humano. Hola, humano.
¿Llevas mucho aquí?
Bastante. ¿Eres el único que queda?
No, somos unos cuantos.
Buenas noticias.
Nah.
Salvo que te envíe Irons.
¿Irons? ¿El jefe Irons? ¿Aún está aquí?
¿Qué importa? Ojalá se lo hayan comido.
¿Qué quieres decir?
Él es el cabrón que me encerró.
Tendría un buen motivo.
Pues sí. Iba a filtrar sus trapos sucios. Supongo que yo habría hecho lo mismo. Hagamos un trato. Sácame y te daré esto. No hay otra forma de salir de ese garaje.
Lo siento, no puedo. Tengo que hablar con el jefe.
Mira, los dos estamos atrapados. O nos ayudamos el uno al otro. ¡Ah! ¡Mierda! ¡Ya viene!
¿Qué es lo que...?
¡Venga! ¡No seas cabrón! ¡Necesitas esto! ¡Sácame de aquí ya!
It became non-canon so quick. I wanted to hear what Ben Hameen sounded like in Espanol. Ben Hameen Botticelli, I believe he's known as. Yeah, whatever. You crowd got locked up for being huge assholes. The virus had nothing to do with it. Alright, how are we going to deal with the basement? Well, first of all, we're not going to talk about it around Danny Elfman. He gets so frightfully upset when you enter the basement so recklessly, in such a devil-may-care attitude. In a devil's cry maybe attitude. Look, I somehow snuck it into the video. You were so justified when you recommended this to your friend as their first Tenfei video, son. Redeemed. They never saw the twist coming. Alright, so we can't really just shoot all the dogs preemptively in a video game in case somebody decides to splice this audio. So we have to decide, because if we leave these dogs alone, then after we turn the power on, there's just so many more dogs running around to contend with that I'm not used to dealing with. So we'll have to do some bobbing and weaving and just hope that we don't get eat up too bad. I did bring a first aid spray and a knife in case I get jumped on. But if they jump on you from behind, there ain't a knife in the world you can get them with, son. You ain't octo-jointed. We want to get the diamond key so that we can get the fanny pack in the evidence locker room. Because Leon doesn't actually need it for game progression. He's evolved beyond such concepts as diamond keys. He comes from a post-diamond key scarcity future. It's like if you went into the Star Trek, the Next Generation future, with like the biggest stack of $100 bills, and you were like, hot damn, I'm gonna buy me some future space shit. And they were just like, what is this? Some sort of small paper rectangle with a devilish man depicted upon it. Fascinating. Okay, we weren't quite good enough to not wake him up. I've never had that guy. Well, I'm not going to say that because I probably have. But generally, he does take to the dome. If we hadn't dealt with him, then when we were running away from the dogs in this next room, he would be there shambling about. And I just don't need that complication in my life. The sad part is, during practice, I was able to pull the table out without waking him up. Similar to Sheriff Redfield. She's the only one that's got that touch to not wake a cadaver in the morgue. Some more shotgun shells, please. Some Aegis cube conductors, please. Oh yeah, there's a green herb. So there, in addition to this one dog that we could always run around, there's going to be a second one who comes running around the side here. So we've got to be ready for him to either juke him or introduce him to justice. Pretend he's Sparta. Damn it. Alright, it's fine. Maybe we can just run away like heroes. Like heroes we are. Oh, I wasted a fucking shell and I didn't even get the damn thing. Oh well, if I could just get out of this room, it doesn't count as squandering it. Ha ha! Alright, just keep running, baby. Unfortunately, we can't deal with that dog like we usually do. There's probably going to be a bonus dog in this room. No, but we just can't afford to deal with Vent Dog at the moment. I can't let you vent. Oh no, there was a second dog! Oh no, the grassy dog! We're fine. We're weaving. We're wobbling. I forgot. Did I forget the shotgun shells in there? I literally don't remember. Oh no, I'm not scared. I'm not scared. Okay, and everything was fine. The good times are finally back for Deputy Kennedy. I was probably going on about Danny Elfman, so that's my way of remembering if I grabbed those shotgun shells or not. Alright, we want a hand grenade to deal with this crowd in the hallway. Some gunpowders. Unfortunately, Magnum bullets have no use for us. Do I need to do another Uncle Owen impression, or are y'all already good? Okay, grab one of you. Let's see, there's one big gunpowder up in the clock tower, but there's a gunpowder bee down by the club door. And is that the only additional gunpowder bee that we're going to encounter? Whatever. Alright. Alright. We can upgrade one of these to full RGB. A SCART heal, they call it in the UK. So they're so spoiled with their SCART cables. They're like, oh, we had to play Bloody Sonic at 50 hertz. We had to play slow motion Sonic. Maybe it's better. Who the hell knows? Maybe that's why they actually like that series over there. What are we dealing with? There's some liquors. There is a knife at the end of the hall. Give or take. Henceforth. And we remember we do want to save some knives for the end of the game when we're running through the Gangleman Gang's territory, because spoilers, we won't have the ordnance to deal with them. Fiery ordnance. Okay, I guess we should save our game before I fuck up too badly. Go ahead and grab this fuse before I save. It does give you some peace of mind to play more fast and loose when you can save. when you can return by ink ribbon. Alright, generally these guys aren't one shot by the grenade. So let's see if we can finish them off with this knife and save a shotgun shell. Save a life. Yep, you earned it, buddy. That's yours now. Congratulations. Talk about squandering my fucking resources on this a lot. You're like, yeah, we do need to talk about it. If you're the chief of Tenfei, you're like, yeah, what do you think next Monday's meeting is going to be about? Hot shot? I'm like, Chief, you could have at least called me a big shot, so we could have made topical current video game references. He's like, Delta Room Chapter 2 came out months ago. Ass. Get the hell out of my office, son. There we go. I won. I hate having to use so much of this knife on Elliot, but he will be a hindrance later when we've got to come running through here. Alright, that sounded like his soul finally escaping his upper torso. So, Alright, that liquor in the hallway. It would be nice to flat. Well, there's a item box we're coming across. Now, remember, yeah, we could see her through here. I could see you from here. I'm original Leon. Don't make me bring up Onion Leon, son. Everyone will lose their minds. Yes, these are Homestar Runner references. Why do you even question it? Alright, Marvin's protective aura no longer guards this entranceway, which means these zombies might actually be able to wander out here. Did you hear that? It sounded like a voice coming over a loudspeaker. Must be that crowd upstairs getting anxious. Alright, so we have the liquor out here. And then the one by the evidence lockers. We really do need to get rid of them before Mr. X is hung all over us. I do like in Leon's scenario, you get full access to most of the RPD before you trigger Mr. X. That's one difference in Claire's. She's locked that little section over there by the chief's office because she doesn't have the crank to open up that hallway up there, son. That's game design differences. Everybody loves them. Get flashbanged, dumb shit. I was already cutting your ass before it was even there. Once again, I was using my future memories. All right. Make sure none of the zombies are left in here for when Mr. X is all over us. I did blow her head off, didn't I? Good. In a video game, my God. Okay. Is anyone left out? Well, no, there's that damn liquor. We don't got no flashbang, so we got to go in fucking dry with the knife. Alright, 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 alright. Oh, no. He leapt beyond my knife's cutting range. Okay, good. That's a lot of bullshit dealt with. We could go ahead and get the fanny pack upgrade. Once again, while we still exist in a Mr. X free world, Senor X is not menacing us. X the Eliminator. I shall have the crest on Leon Kennedy's sheriff's deputy hat. Ah, Birdman. Last night I was hanging out with my friends Tommy and Chris. They're expanded Tenfei universe characters. So if this is your first Tenfei video, don't fret about not recognizing those names. But just for fun, we watched the Scooby-Doo episode of Harvey Birdman, son. A very famous recurring Tenfei bit originates in that episode. So if future Tenfei historians aren't familiar with it. I think it's the third episode. The pilot episode is the Johnny Quest one, which is in the weird different animation style. Then the second episode is it the one with Apache Chief from the Super Friends, and how after he spills coffee on his lap, he can no longer enlarge. And then the third one is the Scooby-Doo one. There you go. You're all caught up. Now I've got to solve another one of these damn puzzles in one try again. Another number one puzzle solve jam. All right, for the pupil. Whew. Talk about an easy puzzle to solve. I'm just saying. Shinji Mikami, maybe you can make it a little more challenging next time. I could never let him win. I like to think he's an outlier of the coalition of Japanese game developers that are all the secret enemies of the Tenfei channel. This is like grand Tenfei narrative shit. This is like, it's the equivalent of the X-Files episodes that are about the quote-unquote, you know, the alien conspiracy and the lore. Always the least interesting episodes, son. So I don't blame you if you just skip that shit. All right, we don't want to activate Marvin Senpai if we don't have to. Have we done everything we set out to do? I believe so. Have we achieved great justice? Not quite yet. But we're headed that way. Now, we can't just throw that key away because we didn't use it downstairs. But since I'm allowed to use the item box again, I got my item box privileges restored. Trying to think, should we just bring this Aegis conductor with us? Because we're gonna run. Are we gonna pass an item box before then? I don't think we're gonna pick up so many items that I can't grab that. So it's fine. Do we want this hand grenade? It'll be nice to save as many hand grenades as we can because we have to fight. Leon's final boss fight is much harder than Claire's against Super Mr. X. And I'm notoriously bad at fighting him. And I'm probably not going to have a ton of shotgun ammo by that point. So any additional ordnance we can squirrel away would be quite useful. Those zombies could potentially be out here, but they're not. And that's a good thing. Yeah, I don't know if they disappear when Mr. X spawns or if they disappear when you get back from the basement. Danny Elfman took them. I don't really know what Danny Elfman looks like. Like, I know his name and Oingo Boingo and such, but if you pointed out a bunch of rock stars from that period, I probably wouldn't be able to pick him out. So I always imagine him as the salamander from Face Like a Frog, which is the thing I constantly reference when I talk about not going in the basement. I'm trying to lay the groundwork. I've just assumed, you have to assume every Tenfei video is somebody's first. Son, Excelsior, Tenfei True Believers. And so that's why whenever I'm doing these little things explaining that, imagine it's in a little yellow text box with an asterisk in it in the bottom left corner of the panel. Oh, I almost forgot to block this window. He's never been so tickled. So he was finally going to get his chance to shine. Shine on, you crazy zombie. Now, we can't actually access this room yet. Which we don't really need the box that's in there because that leads to the sheriff's badge. And the sheriff's badge leads to the magnum. And the magnum leads to fear. So really there isn't a reason to unlock that door. Now that we've grabbed that gunpowder. We should probably go ahead and deal with these two damn zombies in here. Because Mr. X will be hot on our heels when we come back later. And there are some shotgun shells in here to make up our losses. Buddy boy. Oh, we got them both in one blow. Try my face to your shotgun style. My skull exploded, making me the victor. Knife that William Birkin, if you're so great. Okay. Do we want to carry this thing with us? It will allow us to just run straight around. Yeah, why not? The large gear. I'm just loaded down with blue herbs. Now, we won't be able to return because Deputy Kennedy is weighted down by his sense of justice. You're like, wouldn't Sheriff Redfield also be weighed down by justice given the characterization you've given her? And I'm like, well, she like knows how to mitigate her justice. She knows how to lower her center of justice so that her ballast is more even. Grab these green herbs down here. That's the first time we mixed a blue and a green. Do you think the developers of Resident Evil understand the imagery of the mixed herb item and how it leads to certain humorous, quote-unquote, observations from people, especially people that aren't super invested in Resident Evil? I guess there's no reason not to grab this ink ribbon. Alright. Things could get dicey right here. So let's do something rare and save out here in this little shed. And the shed where chairs go to die, apparently. That flashbang. Are there any other liquors we need to deal with? I don't think so. Oh no, I'm moving shit around. Also, I love their collection. I like, it's such world building with the environment, because you could tell like whatever custodian or maintenance guy hung out here would just sit out here and read, and who would ever bother him? Irons would call him on that phone and cuss him out every now and then, just not for anything he knows that he's doing, because he doesn't give a shit about him sitting out there, but it's just because Brian Irons always calls all of his employees at least once a day to call them useless. Are they really employees? They're employed by the city, right? Let's discuss municipal politics in my gimmicky Resident Evil 2 playthrough that nobody understands anything I'm saying because it's their first info video. Alright, Mr. X, just walk away, man. Just walk away. Be the bigger man. He did it. Thank God. If we're lucky, he'll go downstairs. If we're lucky, then him downstairs. As bad as I want cookies and shit, I'd rather him go downstairs. Alright, we should be good now. Did he notice us? He did not. Hopefully that crowd is still confined to the offices in here, so we won't have to worry about them. And see, we boarded that window up earlier, or else we'd have another damn zombie to be dealing with. Just another zombie Monday. Now, Mr. X might be out here in the entrance hall, but we might be able to avoid him. Yeah, there he is right there. And he's going to be hung on us in a most blue crab manner. But because we pre-gamed our liquors, that's my dating strategy, by the way. It's like pre-game the liquors. You're like, I kind of vaguely get what you're implying. Uncle Tenfei. Just enough to be disappointed by it. At least it doesn't have to like spawn Mr. X over here to chase us like it normally does when we grab this item, because he was already chasing us. Leon has much more difficult access to this room than Claire does. I believe I pointed that out in the Claire playthrough. The Claire Witch project. Somebody's going to have to make a Claire Witch mod so that I can do a Claire Witch playthrough. And if you're going to make a mod that makes her a witch, you might as well make her a big titty cat witch. Your friend who this is his first info video is like, is that like some kind of sandwich he's talking about? You're like, no, just don't. Just don't, man. I forgot about that shit before I suggested Tenfei to you, and I'm regretting it now. Mr. X may have teleported because we shifted sides. We shifted from the light world to the dark world, RPD. So, let's just... I'm going to try to actually pay attention to his waffle stomping and not get ass started when I run through a door. Okay, is he in the library with the candlestick? Mr. X? I don't sense any malice. I don't sense any spiritual pressure I can't detect any Satsui no Hado. So I think we're in the clear. He's right under us, isn't he? Alright, which way is he going to go? Alright, here is the plan. I didn't pregame the shelves, did I? I was so busy dealing with the library bunch that I forgot to. Okay, so while he's walking around to these steps, we're going to use that as an excuse to at least use the lever. Because we're going to have to get a little bit more clearance from Mr. X, I believe, before we can solve the whole puzzle. Tell you what, just because I know it'll make it real fucking tense for y'all, I'm going to move the shelves at least once. It's fine. I'm sure he's not right there. Everything's fine. Where the hell is he? Oh, God! I wasn't worried. And the best part is I know you kids at home weren't. Boys, I think we finally have the canon sequel to that quote-unquote famous Tenfei moment of the damn tentacle dogs in the hedge garden in Resident Evil 4. Why didn't you introduce your friend to Tenfei using that? You're like, man, that's the old busted Tenfei. I like that new Tenfei hotness. You're like, that's like 2D era, old school Tenfei. Kind of like old school Sonic games. Apparently there's like a big rift in the Sonic community, if you can imagine it. You're like, drama in the Sonic community? I'll never believe it. How could that even be possible? Those words don't even make sense. Between the old school, basically Sonic Adventure is a divide between them. And I like to think Tenfei kind of has that, because the older Tenfei does feel different. I say the cutoff point is Resident Evil 2. Okay, where? The Resident Evil 2 Remake Tenfinity. I consider that the Sonic Adventure break-off point, but I'll leave that to y'all to decide. Or did the Tenfei channel slow boil like a frog in a pot over such a long period of time that you couldn't even detect how quickly it went to shit? Or not quickly, how consistently. Alright, does anyone know where that motherfucker is? We're not going to get surprised and we're not going to get scared. We're going to do this by the book. Every time I get caught by Mr. X in one of my Resident Evil 2 playthroughs, the Chief takes away one of my vacation days. Alright, as long as he's not in the library, we should be good. That's very library-esque waffle stomping I hear. Very biblioteca in nature. Yeah? Asshole. Did he notice us, or did he go through the other door? I think he may have went the other way. Thank God. Did he come right back in here? He didn't. Okay, good. I think we got to move this 2 more times. 1. This is why it's so important to pregame these shelves and why I almost always do it. And just forgot this one time. I don't want to climb the ladder because he might come out of that door up there while I'm climbing and the things will get real tragic. We're about to get taken to a dream world of magic. Alright, good. I think we're recovering from our Mr. X fun times. We'll refer to them as. He can't possibly be up here. I know all of you were secretly hoping and praying that he would be right there. Hello, sirs. He took that on the jaw. Is he dead? He wasn't. But he might be now. Get the hell off of me, son! Lost your damn mind! Okay. Oh, don't forget to take your large gear with you. You're like, can I get this large gear to go? Boys, I'm busted open. I should have just gone with the little gear sampler. Here's our first big gunny powder. The Makio gunpowder star. Lord Slug gunpowder. Man, you can only reference so many DBZ movie titles. The world's strongest gunpowder. The gunpowder zone. The tree of gunpowder. Gunpowder's revenge. Resurrection G. And of course, a battle of gunpowders. Gunpowder, the legendary Saiyan. Alright. We're back on track. Yeah, El Jefe is going to find out. Is that really how you say chief? Just the Jeff? Was there just some big dick Chad named Jeff at some point in Latino or Espanol past? And he was such a big fucking deal that they just named that title after him. How are you still? I can't believe he's still alive. Oh yeah, we don't even need to. I was like, damn, I got to get past Mr. X and unlock this shit. But we don't, because we're not Claire Redfield. And we get to take library skip. Like we're speedrunning. Not as satisfying as when Mr. X is standing right fucking there when you do it, but it got us where we're going. Now don't forget we need a grenade to get through the escape of the prison. Did we have a flashbang handy? I believe we did. Flashbang handy. You're like, hot damn. That's my new handle, baby. How about I introduce you to old flashbang handy? Bob's your uncle, indeed. We don't need that key anymore. We're not the Diablo 2 Paladin. We don't need a key. That's an OMG Paladin reference. Now that's fucking old school. That's like the Sonic 1 era of Tenfei. Using my previous analogy of the different Tenfei epochs. Alright, and since we dealt with Elliot Senpai earlier, we don't have to deal with him here. And since we're never fucking coming back to this place, we don't have to worry about these zombies either. There's going to be... I forgot there's going to be so many dogs to deal with. Damn. Dealing with doggins. Maybe I should have brought a heal with me. Oh well. We'll just have to hope and pray. Hope in my heart. Hope in my heart. Look at them cold drinks. Hope in my heart. Okay. Excuse me. I have hope in my heart. You're not allowed to bite me today. It's like it being my birthday. Oh no. I was just about to demand a free fried ice cream with candles in it. Son. Oh God, oh Jesus, get me through these times. Oh Lord Jesus, so I could solve them crimes. There we go. Crime solving Jesus. Got us through. Okay, we're fine. Everything's fine. Ben Botticelli keeps a secret first aid spray behind the toilet. So that'll get us through this next segment. Maybe these boxes are so much bigger than the cube conductors because they're like a reverse TARDIS, son. It's smaller on the inside. Okay, that's that. That's that. This is this. Yes, sir. Connect that shit to that shit. Flip that shit. So easy. Even the kids could get into Ben Botticelli's prison cell. I'm healed. Thank you, Benjamin. Hermano. Alright. I'm going to regenerate this bite out of the back of my neck, so give me a second. Alright. Just ignore all the zombies. Just be kind to the zombies, Leon. They'll be kind to you. Ah, Mr. X, what happened to your hat? Where's your hat? You're all testicles and no hat? What happened to your hat, Mr. X? You got bad credit. Okay. Here we go, flashbang Sally. And it got that guy in the floor. Yeah, you don't really have to do anything to him if you always use flashbang exit strats.
Me estoy cansando de salvarte. Ya van 2.
No sabía que ibas contándolas.
Mira, esto no es un juego.
Venga ya.
Leon pulled that gun out, son. Ruined the cutscene. I like how the dogs just all died of sadness that we're here in the garage. Or I assume Ada took them down. So there won't be any enemies out here like there are during Claire's scenario. And we're also finally going to get our first shotgun upgrade. Our Justice is going to become the Big Justice. The Big Boner. What's that game called? Shadows of the Damned? I bought a copy of that, I think for the PS3. Just because I was like, well, maybe someday I'll play it for my stupid fucking YouTube channel. And so far that day has not arrived. It's there up there on the shelf next to Rough Trigger. Boys, don't bring that up around Hosier. He'll get rough triggered. Hosier, if you're watching this, and I assume you still are, leave a comment demanding that I finally play that copy of Rough Trigger that you sent me like a decade ago. Yeah, this is a pretty cool pistol grip shotgun, I guess, but they've got like the long barrel in here, and I've been saving up for it, cutting extra yards and such. Get me that good shit. Slap it on that shit. Oh, yeah. Let's look at the big shotgun. What do you think? Does it look cooler with just the pistol grip or when you add the additional stock on there? Because I could go either way, to be perfectly frank. Oh, this is that note they added to Jill, isn't it? Yeah. She's like, hey, I'm in a terrible follow-up to this game that should have been given an extra year or 2. Yeah, you're real sad. Whatever. Nobody cares about Robert Kendo.
¿Conoces la corporación Umbrella? Es una empresa farmacéutica que fabrica armas biológicas. Tienen un virus.
I can't quite understand what she's saying, but I heard the terms umbrella and I heard the terms Los Douchebags Grande, and I understood the message. It seems surprisingly quiet out here on the city streets, considering most of the population have been turned into shambling abominations. I'm just amazed the power's still on. That's the most unbelievable part of this game. I feel like in that scenario, like a light pole or a transformer is going to get fucked up at some point. Fucking Bumblebee just walking down the street wondering where everybody is, and then a bunch of zombies run up. I'll leave it to your imagination what happened there, because you're probably thinking, isn't he like an anthropomorphic car or robot? I don't know if zombies will particularly affect him. It's not like that Robot Chicken sketch with Yoshi driving the Mario Kart to Raccoon City. Alright, we've got an alligator to deal with. I needs me a new pair of boots. We are going to have to use a shotgun shell on the alligator, but it'll be so justified. Such justice will be doled out that I really can't complain.
¿Seguro que es por aquí?
Me temo que sí.
¿Ah? Espera. ¡Dios santo!
¡Leon! ¡Sal de ahí!
Alright, just like bombing Metal Gear's feet in the first Metal Gear, as long as you know the left and rights here, You'll survive every time. And don't forget, the second one is always the double. So Mark Rutsu empowers that alligator, but only during his second bite.
Cómete esa. Maldito cabrón apestoso.
Boys, those of y'all that habla Espanol, how scathing would you rate what Deputy Kennedy just said? What he just hablaed.
Leon, aquí arriba.
Coño, sube.
Sube, de una vez. ¿No será que no te avisé?
Dijiste que el virus transforma a la gente, no a los reptiles.
Correcto. Estoy impresionada de que estés entero.
Whatever, I'm going to get in the elevator first. I'm going to be in here hotboxing until you make it in here. Every second, you're just making it worse for yourself.
Entonces, a ver. Umbrella vende a bichos como ese ¿a quién? ¿A nuestro ejército? ¿A otros países?
No venden a los monstruos, venden los virus que los transforman. Y Annette es quien crea los virus. Ese cocodrilo era peligroso. Annette es aún peor.
So I'm trying to get these dramatic angles when they're having discussions like that. To get, once again, give a more telenovela feel to it, son. I want to make a video good enough that your abuelita is able to watch it with you.
Sin duda, esto es cosa de William.
Identifíquese.
Annette Birkin.
¿Es a quien buscamos?
Oh, Jesus. I was taking a drink of water and I didn't realize he'd pulled that handgun out. Son, ludonarrative dissonance was shattering in all directions.
Pero no esconderte.
He's a bit tuckered out. He's taking him a little siesta. Just a non-grande one. The EMF visualizer. That sounds real cool, I guess. We're not going to get any anti-tank rocket launchers or flamethrowers or any of that fun shit. Because we're in a non-randomized environment.
Comido.
Ugh, these damn roaches. I'd be more worried walking through this roach field thing than walking through a hallway with zombies in it. That's almost true. Hey, buddy. Somebody needs less legs before I jump down there. And I volunteer you. Farewell to Legs is what I'll name your biography that I'm going to write for you. In solidarity and remembrance of when you weren't quite so humble. Yeah, this is much less tedious, I think, than Sherry's scenario. But, I mean, really, how else could you do Sherry's scenario? It was a pain in the ass in the original game when you had to deal with, like, regular enemies. Those fucking dogs, man. Imagine if you had to dodge RE2 remake dogs in the Sherry Birkin segment. I wonder how much HP they gave her character. Since it's just like a lose state if Brian Irons gets a hold of you. It's a shame Ada doesn't get access to a knife. You got sturdy tendons. That's what your nickname's gonna be. I don't think that lady's made it over here yet, so I've got enough time to stop and casually, quote-unquote, solve a puzzle. I guess you could consider the electrical rerouting gimmick of Ada's scenario as a quote-unquote puzzle. I literally didn't see her until a second before I dodged her. Jesus. All right, Fat Chubb's waiting around the corner. Fat Chub's on the corner. Down here on the floor. Okay. Hey, Annette. How you doing? How are you not noticing me? You're just being hateful.
Siempre se te ha dado bien correr. Lo reconozco. Menudo pesado eres, ¿eh?
Just for fun, why don't I just use this flashbang that I never really get to use? Just to give Mr. X a worse time. I like to think it somehow makes him stronger at the end of the game when Leon's fighting him. It's like in Final Fantasy VII. Is it every character you have up to level 99 gives Sephiroth like more tens of thousands of HP? Or is it just like as long as you have one character who's level 99? And I believe if you use Knights of the Round in the previous fights, it makes him stronger too. I don't know. It's been such a long time since I considered any of the boss fights, maybe outside of the weapons in Final Fantasy VII, to be quote-unquote difficult. We need Garland the Great here to humble me. Look, you can save during edit segment in case you forget how to hack. In case you forget to hack the planet.
¡Bravo! ¿Ahora vas a quemarme viva?
El G nunca caerá en tus ojos.
No soy la única que lo busca. Lo sabes, ¿no?
Pues no morirás tú sola.
This is another telenovela moment for you, son. I'm sure those Mexican soap operas have plenty of moments where ladies, like, cattily argue with each other, son. If your abuelita is watching, look over at her, and she'll just nod and go, "Sí, Tin Fei es muy correcto." Okay. And it's hacked. Life hacks with Ada Wong. Oh, I talked over her scathing commentary. I'm sorry.
Visitante autorizado. Su identidad está autorizada hasta 1 octubre. Regrese antes de esa fecha.
Ni hablar.
Did she sound appropriately robotic in Espanol? It's hard to pick up whether acting is good or not if you don't understand the language. That's why I watch most anime in Japanese, because even if it's like a terrible performance, no, if it's really bad, I think it transcends cultural boundaries, but still. Since the bullet hole wasn't there in this outfit, I think he was just so surprised. Whenever Deputy Kennedy wakes up, he instinctually puts his hand over his heart so he can recite the Pledge of Allegiance, huh? Okay, we've got ink ribbons. Let's save. All right, let's hope that Deputy Kennedy's sewer adventure goes just as smoothly as Sheriff Redfield's did. I think we made a good run of it. So what should we have in our inventory at all times? We should probably carry at least one RGB heal with us in case things get real dicey. And once again, being able to save takes some pressure off of you. Not spiritual pressure, unfortunately. Be on the lookout for caca demons, son. We got the shoddy. Perfect weapon for taking them down. Just ask Decina. It's shotgun shells over here in this optional tunnel, is it not? I just thought about it. Sheriff Redfield didn't have much use for submachine gun ammo and fancy Magnum revolver bullets, but shotgun shells are the order of the day in Deputy Kennedy's world. Deputy Kennedy's world. The most important ammo of the day. Serving it up Deputy Kennedy's way. Blah. That's when Sheriff Claire stuck her tongue in the box of shotgun shells and reacted just like SpongeBob with Gary's snail food. Why would you eat shotgun, Poe? Hey, buddy, boy, long barrels have a lot to say to you. Good times, good times. Fat Chub's on the ceiling, giving me that feeling. Fat Chub's in the hall, I'm gonna shoot 'em all. Then there's this asshole. I wanted to give you all one of them No Country for Old Men segments. No Country for Old Claires. That's what I'll have to call this playthrough. That'll be the description. How about that? We'll make a compromise. Like how Claire Dare Revolver's tagline description was standard issue gunslinger. We'll grab us a gunpowder yeller. Alright, we're going to have to get past one G-Mutant, unfortunately. But we should be able to shoot him and run around while he's popping up. Popping fresh, boys. Yes, sir. Now, Leon won't have to deal with any zombies up here in this control room, so that's good.
Un tranvía. Interesante. ¿Dónde estará? No me gusta cómo suena. Venga. Ada. Ya voy, Ada.
I'm sorry to be so silent, y'all, but my upstairs neighbor, like, either they've been running their sink this whole time or their toilet is regenerating water into itself. But I was like, I'll just be quiet till it stops. But then I realized it'll never stop. Can't stop, won't stop, non-stop. Like a mansion party. Alright, we could store that. We do want to save. We want this knife so that we can deal with the crowd down at the bottom of the stairs. Fat Chubs and Skinny Lenny. And then that other older Fat Chubs in the orange vest. The War Fat Chubs, I believe, is what the wiki refers to him as. Yeah, those knives are really only good for actual self-defense. They've become Resident Evil 1 remake self-defense knives. We're going to build a full heal as we go as well, so there's really no reason to bring additional ones. I was going to say, I believe I already grabbed that one. Alright, and as always, having a save right there makes me feel less worried about fucking up. I guess if you work down here all the time, eventually, like, you become numb to the shit smell. You'd adapt to it. It's like when Hinch Rat and Evil the Cat in the Earthworm Jim cartoon. They were on that planet of, like, the foul-smelling yaks. A little weird cartoon. Like, Freakazoid was more grounded than Earthworm Jim. Of course, Earthworm Jim had, like, space and aliens and stuff, so they could go more crazy. All right, we should be able to not wake this guy up. Oh, God. Damn it! I accidentally spun around, and that's what woke him up. All right, remember, this is 2, 12, and 8. They really are. If that's your 3 favorite Final Fantasies, it's like just such an interesting choice, because each of them is like an outlier in its own way. All right, we've upgraded to full justice. Luckily, you kids that follow the Tenfei channel can at least understand a third of that, since Final Fantasy II has been played. You're like, yeah, it's been played. It hadn't been uploaded, though, has it? All right, Fat Chubs, where is Skinny Lenny? I want to get you both with this damn grenade. God, you crowd vex me. You vex me, Fat Chubs. Damn it. Things went real bad real quick, and I blame Fat Chubs for it. Okay, I'm confused. I think I'm dead. We're going to have to return by Fat Chubs to a better timeline. Alright, I think the #1 mistake I made right then that snowballed that whole thing was waking that zombie up. And that only happened because I was about to go into this long, quote-unquote, soliloquy about Final Fantasies 2, 8, and 12. They're all 3 Final Fantasies that were, like, initially really looked down upon, and to the point of being hated in some ways by the fan base. Well, I don't know the original, like, reception of Final Fantasy 2 when it came out in Japan. Maybe everyone thought it was real neat. Probably not, since they never went back to that system again. But if y'all weren't around when Final Fantasy 8 first came out, there were a lot of people that were like, what the hell is this? Where's Cloud? I thought we were going to bring Aeris back. I bought a game genie, for Christ's sake. Okay, good. We didn't fuck up the rotation and wake that guy up this time. Blue Herb is what we'll name him, son. Tenfei historians. I don't know why you don't just have the archives opened as you watch the video. I really need both Fat Chubs and Skinny Lenny to get hit by this grenade. Yeah, I see you lurking over there, Lenny. Nobody thinks you're cool, being dank around the corner. I've never approached Fat Chubs so freely. I can't get him to aggro. Okay, there we go. Alright, his position might change if we leave the room and re-enter. I really don't want to use any shotgun shells on this crowd. Okay, I think they're... I continue to be vexed. What if I were to put ooey gooey worms in your ears, Fat Chubs? They wrap around your brain and make you all crazy. Okay, Skinny Lenny is finally approaching. Oh, Skinny Lenny, you're approaching me. He's like, I have to be able to bite your ass. Alright, I believe he's been put down. How about you? He made a noise and his mouth moved. I'm not crazy. I'm not crazy. Alright, we'll continue using this knife to save a shotgun shell. Every shotgun shell we save is one for Super Mr. X at the end of the game. I knew you were still slightly resilient. I knew I couldn't trust you to be dead. Graveyard dead. GYD, son. Okay. What order do we want to do these in this time? We want that key, because we're not going back up to the RPD, but there's a big gunpowder hid behind one of those locked doors. That'll get us some more shotgun shells. So do we want to go around that way first? We had to deal with those 3 zombies that spawn. But we could probably run around most of them. Yeah, just to make sure. We're going to go opposite order. We don't have the grit and determination of Sheriff Claire Redfield to just straight up charge down there in the G-Mutant alley. And in the end, that slight hesitation we're showing might be our undoing. We only have one zombie to deal with up there, though, since we pre-gamed all the others. And you could always run back this way, but then you have this G-Mutant down here to deal with. You're like, the G-what? I'm like, oh, sorry, the G-Mutant. Excuse me. Yes, even me referring to them in that cadence as the G-Mutant is a Homestar Runner reference. I'm telling you, it's the linchpin. It's the Rosetta Stone of Tenfei. After civilization has fallen for 10,000 years and Harry Seldon is like, I fucking told y'all. When Tenfei is discovered in the future, for like decades, if not centuries, it won't be fully understood until somebody unearths the Brothers Chaps' hard drive that I assume they're going to launch into orbit to preserve all of the Homestar Runner history. Once that's discovered, they're like, finally. Tenfei, his eyes open. Fat chubs, buy the cold drinks. If y'all are a fan of Darmok and Jalad, and a fan of leaving comments that make your Uncle Tenfei happy, then feel free to leave your own Darmok and Jalad-ism, but in reference to commonly occurring Tenfei Resident Evil-isms. That sounds like the name of a really big, like long, pretentious seminar that I'm giving, a TEDx talk. The socioeconomic implications of Tenfei never finishing a Breath of the Wild playthrough in D minor. Oh, Lord, help me. I forgot about those. We've got so many gunpowder. Well, if we need to, we can just throw them away. All right, so which way do we want to go? Zombie route or G-Mutant route? Oh, yeah, don't forget the fucking rook plug. Or else we got to go through this shit again. I'm going to go zombie route. If it looks like we can't get around them without expending, like, more, I'll allow them one shotgun shell. But otherwise, I'm just going to run away. Son, it takes decisions like that to be the hero. Sometimes you have to be a huge fucking coward to be a true hero. Alright. You Rose. Yeah, I got plenty of room to run around them. And then there's going to be the one guy in the jumpsuit. Alright, we need to get her vector just right so that we can boot scoot around her, son. Deputy Kennedy's weekend's line dancing finally paid off when he learned the anti-zombie shuffle. There we go. We used our one shotgun shell that we allowed that crowd. Layla approved of it because they got that one zombie on his knees. You were worried you were going to get through a whole Tenfei Resident Evil 2 remake playthrough without me making one reference to Layla by Eric Clapton? Such a lack of faith. Speaking of lack of faith, let's go save our game before I tackle that crowd down there. That was another reason why I chose this route. It's another reason why it makes me the hero. Son. And then a Tenfei comes along with the strength to carry on. And then you'll finally see the truth that a Tenfei lies in you. That's the secret final lesson of the Tenfei channel. Son, you all have the Tenfei spark inside of you. Being good at playing video games and talking at the same time for entertaining people on the internet purposes is very similar to having a Planeswalker spark when you think about it. This is another one of my TEDx talks, by the way. All right, we're going down there. Getting shit mixed. What's down there? There's a green, a red, and a blue. So, as always, let's bring one with us. Go ahead and place the rook. I believe the rook goes Which side is the rook on again? Beg pardon. I haven't done the A scenario in so long. I temporarily forgot. Oh, that's right. The rook is in the middle. He faces the queen. It's bishop, rook, knight, king, queen, pawn. Yeah. Yeah. It's all coming together. Like learning Flame Blast from a Suzaku on your Mystic weapon. Whew. I was about to say I finally covered all the combination locker acronyms that you demand to be referenced in a Tenfei playthrough. But there's a certain pairing, a certain never meant to be true love that's referenced in a desk with 2 locks on it. There's no way you could explain that to your friend who this is their first Tenfei video unless you go through the long, rigorous process of it, son. You've got to get the fundamentals in there to start with. Now, there won't be any zombies in here to deal with in the A scenario, so that's a good thing. We should be able to use the same strats we used as Sheriff Claire to get by these guys. I think I have a chance with running past these guys. Alright, we're going to shoot him and run. This guy's going to come out staggering and swaggering. We're going to get him to... Damn it! What weapon do I have equipped? A knife or a grenade? The knife. Okay, good. As long as we can still get around him. Damn it! I hate it when they trap you in a self-defense loop where you don't have enough time to properly react to getting around. I think I'm going to get grabbed a 3rd time or just hit. All right, game developers, you're winning. Okay, we've got to load my save. I cut that up way, way, way too bad. I'm not even going to wait to get killed. I've squandered way too many resources. The mistake... hold on, I'll finish chastising myself once we get in the new timeline where I'm the hero. The primary mistake that caused that cascade failure was I didn't move away quick enough to dodge the grab. I didn't tech that throw. And it wouldn't have been a problem if after knifing him I was able to get around him. But as I was bitching and moaning about, they push you back just enough that it gives the enemy time to recover. Son, and as always, we call that cheating. If I'm not given a huge advantage over the enemies, that's by the book cheating. What the hell was that indeed? Deputy Kennedy. Alright, pop and run. No, you're not allowed to grab me immediately. I didn't think we'd encounter such rampant, flagrant cheating down here in the G-Mutant Alley today. No honor amongst G-Mutants. Yeah, it doesn't matter. We've got to... I'm going to have to treat this like I treated the crane fight in the other scenario. I'm just going to have to only show you all where I succeed. Like Hero Boy, I must succeed.
¿Qué ha sido eso?
Alright. Well, luckily I got it on the very next attempt, so I don't have to edit a bunch of shit. Other than my solemn silence. Yeah, I think the reason I immediately got grabbed that last time was I shot him when I was too close. So I guess he has an instant counter. So and it comes out on frame 1. There's no zombie here that we've got to spend 25 minutes knifing, so that's a good thing. We could take one longing glance at the flamethrower and imagine all them Gango men being burned up. Just wait till standard issue flamethrower playthrough. God, that would be a nightmare. There would be no joy. Unless you, like, hack the flamethrower into the beginning of the game and also hacked a shitload of fuel in. Basically, unless you cheat. Alright, now we have to escape through G Mutant Alley. It's like that Left 4 Dead 2 level that you go through and then you have to return, but it's like a torrential downpour has caused a flood. I wish I could have played those games more than I did. Okay, buddy, come on. Try to grab me or something. Big swings, big swings. Real nifty. Oh, and you brought your friend. Yeah, I need to, like, reset this room, I believe. Well, the music got less ominous, but I'm pretty sure they're right there. Just don't get nervous or scared and we'll be fine. Frighten me none. I don't think we had enough frames to get around him right then, or else I'd have gone for it. Alright, the big slam. If we hadn't got staggered, might have been enough to get us around him. Damn it. Well, this is what the knife is for. Get the knife, as they say in your James Roll. Okay, buddy, you've got to start. Okay, he's spitting babies. It's a good thing. Or it would be if he wasn't spitting babies and cheating. Okay. We would have been fine, but the problem is he was too close to that left wall, so we couldn't squeeze around him. It's a shitty thing. Yeah, go back into fucking subterranean hell where you belong, piece of shit. Alright. Really, that was in his fucking grab range, was it? Just let him spew on you. How about that? Just give him what he wants. Maybe he'll go away. Okay, there we go. A bit anticlimactic, but at least we're fucking past it. I realize I have a glut, an excess of healing items back in my item box, so there's no reason not to consider them a resource we can expend to save ammo. And just like that, my sewer adventure was complete. I've been trying to not think about the crane yard fight. We're going to have to hit him probably 3 times with the train car. And we can't knife with as much amputee because we don't have an infinite knife this time. So we'll just have to try and figure it out. Play it by ear, as always. I'm going to do as much stuff as I can before I save, because I just predict that I'm going to have to reload this save multiple times. So, Queen, Killer, Queen, and King Crimson go right here and here.
Vale, ya llego, Ada.
As long as we don't flip those power switches in there, Billy B won't attack us yet. All Resident Evil enemies are bound by a code that they're not allowed to act unless you break the treaty by picking up a key item or solving a puzzle. It's like the rules of the Mortal Kombat tournament. Son, that was just in case Sonic High XD, I think that's his name, was watching. I don't really follow Mortal Kombat, but I watched a bunch of his Mortal Kombat content. He seems real invested in it. Okay, what do we want to take into the Billy B arena? I don't really want to use any regular hand grenades on him. Damn, we don't have nothing for knives. It's like the ending to the Scott Pilgrim movie, son. Knives gets nothing. That's not true. She gets to know that she doesn't have to spend any more time with Scott Pilgrim. That's a gift into itself. Just take a ass load of heals. That's all you can do. That's all you can say. Hand grenade du fromage. That's all you can say. Alright, we'll try this loadout.
¡Joder! ¿Está vivo? Ya te tengo.
¡Allá vamos! Esperemos que sea la última vez.
And there you go, boys. It's just that easy. And we did it totally on our first try. Yep. First try every time. Okay, I got to get back into the swing. Look, when I record these Resident Evil 2 challenge runs and randomizers and such for y'all, also look at these filthy Magnum bullets. I can't believe I even acknowledged them. I usually do it in one session, but I was having such a struggle session, we'll call it, with Billy B here, that I stopped for that, recording, and due to real life circumstances, it's like been a couple of weeks. So if you notice a shift in the tone or the narrative of the playthrough after this point, just know that that's why. Be like, oh yeah, now at least I know why it went to complete shit.
Venga. ¡Ada! ¡Ada, ¿dónde estás?
¡Aquí!
¡Ada! Empezaba a preocuparme.
No puedo sacarlo.
No sé si lo mejor sería...
Sácalo, no puedo caminar así.
Vale. Dolerá.
There you go. A little more of that steamy telenovela action. The drama. Or as they say in España, los dramas. Tu es el drama llama. Son, that's a pretty bad fucking insult to get thrown at you in the Latino places. Which doesn't include España, I realize. I believe somebody left a comment on the Claire Dare Revolver video, which also used the Spanish dub, that they're using the, Spain version of Spanish. Kind of like how in Resident Evil 4, even though they're supposed to be Spanish villagers, which why are there Spanish villagers in, 2004? But anyway, but they're speaking European Spanish. It'd be like setting a game in Kentucky and everybody having a Liverpool accent. It's like, oh, we're here in Kentucky, are we? Gonna get some fried chicken? Isn't it? Okay. Ladies first. I don't believe there's anything I need to grab from the sewers, so let's get to the lab again, yo. Eminem's gonna beat us there. Don't worry, Ada. I'm always como estás. I think that sentence makes sense.
¿Sabes una cosa? Estoy deseando que el FBI asalte el cuartel de Umbrella y los detenga a todos.
Y yo, pero no lo olvides. Este no es tu trabajo. Esto es un caso federal. Cuando tengamos el virus, continuaré sola.
Such drama. God, Leon's so naive, believing in the federales to take care of this, son. Okay, we're going to leave Ada in there because she's feeling real tuckered out. For your safety, please don't get crushed to death by 3 doors. Down, son. Yeah, everybody's real impressed.
Disfruten de su visita.
¿Dónde estará el virus, G?
All right, what are we going to do here in the lab? Oni-chan. First, we're going to save our game before I manage to fuck up. That's a good starter right there. Like making sourdough bread, you need a real solid starter. Is there anything we need to carry around with us, son, while we're walking around the labs? A knife would be nice in case we get grabbed. Oh, that would never happen to me. A professional Resident Evil 2 Let's Play style video maker getting grabbed by a zombie. The words don't even make sense in that order. SpongeBob himself would decree that the words were not allowed to be spoken of in that order. Alright, the kitchen shouldn't be a big deal. We'll grab that grenade off of that lady. The guy by the table will stand up real indignant, but we can just run away from him. And we don't need the handgun bullets or the flamethrower fuel that's in this room. The ass-eating zombies, big sis that works here at Umbrella, will leave her alone. And that man can sit here and think about how heavy that fucking Sony Wega TV right there is. Good God. Those things will give you a hernia. I don't care how good video games look on them. I don't care if you've got a turbo graphics hooked up to one. Big gunpowders can become big shotgun shells. It's the law of equivalent exchange. Now, we know that one of Hunk's boys is out here all the time. Non-stop infinite Hunk's boys. Right around the corner. Hello, sir. You'll notice I don't have a Colt single-action army revolver. I've got the shotgun, or as they say in my homeland, Los Shotgun. You're like, is no plural. Senor Tenfe, why must you butcher my beloved Española? It wounds me. A flamethrower regulator. I ain't got nothing to do with it. Uh-oh. Muff detector needed. Deputy Kennedy doesn't have Sheriff Redfield's years of training in muff detection. He can't hope to get on her level. Whenever he's at the saloon, had one too many, and he's talking up Sheriff Redfield. He's always telling everybody how she could go out on the prairie and just lay her ear to the ground and tell you within the 10th of a mile where the nearest muff was, son. Okay, another one of Hunk's boys, but he's dead. What you got there? Son, he was recording like a podcast. He was trying to. Hunkcast, he called it. Even though you know Hunk would never agree to be on it. So he just decided he would try to like candidly have conversations with him. Like they're going down the tram here to the lab when they did the raid on Billy B. That resulted in Billy B injecting himself with the G virus. Spoilers. They're just sitting there awkwardly because, you know, it's got to be like a 10 or 20 minute ride. And he's like, so, Mr. Hunk, seen any good movies lately? Did you watch Squid Game? Any thoughts? Hunk doesn't even dignify that. Somebody wanted me to acknowledge these moths, so I've acknowledged them. Okay. We're just going to keep saving. Because, unfortunately, we're about to come up against an ornery gang of no good ne'er-do-wells. You all know what I'm talking about. You're like, I seriously don't. In fact, those words have never been true. Okay. So to deal with potential enemies, since we can't learn Sectrum Sempra or whatever to deal with enemies, we're going to have to do it the old-fashioned way and just have a lot of knives on us. We're going to do it the Dio Brando way. Always more knives. Son, he has that up at a needlepoint. He even had it in the Joestar mansion when he was still a human. But still a huge asshole as well. It turns out humans can be the biggest assholes are. You're like, vampires are bigger assholes. I'm like, yeah, but what did all vampires start out as? That's right. Son, I just blew your fucking mind. The Gangleman Gang. I could have swore Sheriff Redfield ran you out of town. Apparently, everyone's like, man, Deputy Kennedy is always like blowing smoke up Sheriff Redfield's ass, but she ain't run one lawbreaker out of this fucking town in 10 years.
Tratamiento.
Yeah, Vomiandos, Los Serum. I'm sure that's what she was going to say. Okay, now to type in these codes that I organically have always known. God, never watched the original Tinfinity of my first playthrough of this game because this section is pitiful, is how I'll describe it. Okay, and this one's 2067. Yes, I can tell that they're like negative numbers. No, I don't think they're weird Tetris blocks. Okay, in all seriousness, the Gangleman Gang are not a group to be trifled with when you ain't got no fire. Son, Corbin Dallas needs to be informed that we have no fire. Sheriff Redfield, my man, I have no fire. Big gunny powders floweth like milk and honey. All right. This one's real easy because you just start on red and always go left. Well, mucho gracias, computer robot lady, for letting me know that. I'm going to reward you by taking you to the Taco Bell and getting you some of them Nachos Belgrande. You earned them. I might even get you a Quesadilla. Son, talk about spoiled. You've got the green liquid. Huzzah. If we get some purple liquid, our doctor will just nod because we've gotten the appropriate dosage. Dosage so good, they should call it tresage. Just a little Espanola joke. Oh, Lord, nobody wants to deal with you and your gangly nonsense. No one's impressed. How did I deal with them in the original playthrough? Because I completely missed the flamethrower in that original Tinfinity. Not even Tommy. I like to think Tommy saw it and just didn't say anything because he knew I needed to learn. You're not allowed in this laboratory, son. Dexter himself forbade it. Gangleman, get out of my laboratory. That's my Dexter. And I've never tried to do a Dexter impression. Today is a fine day for science. Don't you know? Oh, I'm Dexter with the lab there. Where did he go? To Gangle Hill, I hope. If we walk under there, another one falls from the ceiling. I guess we've just got to fucking shoot him in the Gangle Ball and fucking run. Whoa, shoot the Gangle and run, as the song says. Luckily, he can't use ladders, just like the armless slasher. It's an actual Tinfei character that has existed in the past. Look it up. If you're in the future, I'm sure the Tinfei archives, aka the maxed out Tinfei wiki, has an entry on him. If Biscuit Dough Handsman can get his own entry on the Homestar Runner wiki, then I don't see why the armless slasher, a Tinfei legend, can't be treated the same. Oh wait, I need this knife for liquors. Even though I barely know him. Whew, such a waste of shotgun shells, though. A hand grenade could prove quite useful. But the thing is, I need this to deal with the damn liquors. I don't think these guys wake up until you turn the power back on. Is that true? Or until you obtain the muff detector. They have muff detectors built into them so they can tell. Okay. We're never going to make it at the end of this playthrough if I'm going to worry and fret over every shotgun shell. That gentleman won't mess with you if you don't mess with him, son. Gentleman zombie is what we refer to him as in the lore. Oh, wait. Regular flashbang grenades. How embarrassing. I need the good shit. The flashbang grenade is like the sparkler to the regular hand grenades like M80 or Roman candles. Roman candles let you be a wizard very temporarily. like getting the potion in Wizards and Warriors that turns you a color and makes the music change, and then you can either like jump real high or be completely invincible, or you could get the shitty blue potion that makes you run faster, I think. What a fucking waste. Kuros gets cheated every time you get a blue potion in Wizards and Warriors. Fun fact, one of the oldest videos on the Tenfei channel is OMG Kuros, from back in the OMG phase of Tenfei. How many of y'all come from that era, Tenfei? There's not many of you. That's a select bunch. Okay, I ain't got to save this knife anymore, so I can save a shotgun shell just by cutting this man down. Way, hey, cut the man down, as the song goes. I want to preserve as many knives as possible just for gangle deterrence. Which there's another gangle man that spawns in here when the power is restored, but we just won't restore the power. After we restore the power, we just won't come up here anymore. It's so rare for me to actually hit that woman with a headshot. She's got like hyper evasion armor. You're like, yeah, that's it. It's not that your aim's dog shit because you refuse to play with the keyboard and mouse, even though this is the PC version of the game. She's got the fucking Satsui no Hado and can dodge shit. I'm like, I know. I'm glad you're on the same page. And you're like, my God, Uncle Tenfei, why do you have to make it so difficult to like you? I'm like reverse tsundere. I'm Dare Soon's the easiest way to say it. Okay, all this garbage in my inventory. I don't think I'm gonna get grabbed. Hopefully none, but not more than twice. Sometimes but twice, as they say. I've got so many ink ribbons that let's just keep staggering them saves, boys. I'm glad I got through the Billy B. Crane fight. That was actually only my second attempt in this new future recording session, which still exists in your all's past. Trying to understand the Tenfei timeline, it can be rather difficult. I've gone through every fucking door but the one I'm supposed to. You crowd are distracting me and making me look like I'm bad at the game. Are you dead, man on the stairs? When I was going down the stairs, I met a man that wasn't there. He was lying there again today, and I wish he'd go away. I'm going to restore power, and then I'm going to chill this capsule and kill the plants and evade all ganglemen. Murph. Hey, Murph. Where'd you leave the muff detector? They call it the Murph detector when they want to give him hot shit. And he's like, oh, guys, it's real funny. Yeah, Murph detector. You guys are real fucking mature, you know that? Line this shit up. How close am I? Don't you do this in Watch Dogs? Remember fucking TMVA Watch Dogs? What a nightmare. It's from that extremely brief period where I owned an Xbox One due to the kindness of Brian Lee. Tenfei, background character extraordinaire. He's probably playing Lost Ark right now. And he's probably finding that good shit. I assume you find good shit in Lost Ark. It looks like Diablo. People keep calling it an MMO. I'm like, MMO? Is Diablo an MMO? I've got point and click or loot clicking action. Can you milk me? I'm trying to do a meet the parents joke, and it is just not landing at all. I saw that movie once a long time ago. That's one of those like hateful movies. Like Planes, Trains, and Automobiles. I realize it's a classic and there's a lot of classic lines in it. But sitting and watching it, you just feel bad. You feel misanthropic. I've already detected Murph. The Murph-mobile. With its licorice dispenser. What an odd mod. It's going to be the name of my Skyrim mod review series. Odd mod. Unlike today on Odd Mod, we're going to be looking at, you're like, let me guess, another Khajiit titty mod. I'm like, no, sir, I don't appreciate that tone. This is a mod that gives Khajiits big asses. Son, talk about immature. Okay, how are we going to deal with the Gangle Menace? I've rescinded my belief that I might not get grabbed 3 times because I realize how many we need to run around, and I want to save as many shotgun shells and grenades as I can for dealing with a certain huge clawed asshole at the end of the game. Today on Odd Mods, we tackle the controversial Moon Sugar Manor mod. Lord help me. I would do a whole episode that was just thinly veiled ranting about how prequel adventure is never going to finish. Actually, there have been updates since the last time I read it, but like I was so distraught with it when I stopped reading it last that I just haven't had the heart to pick it back up until I know that it's done. Gangle man, are you here being a huge piece of shit? I can hear gangle noises. Everybody play it real cool. Okay, he's not paying attention. Take this. Why doesn't this shit kill the Gangle man, son? That's what I want to know. That's ludonarrative dissonance. Okay, yeah, that shit's real good. Okay. Oh, God, you can see them out there flopping around. Hey, Gangle man. I get it. The chemical agent does affect them. It made them fall down temporarily. Johnny Cage syndrome, we call it. And then they get up and become more animated as you advance and get key items. The thing that makes Resident Evil enemies so emboldened. There's too fucking many of you up here, by the way. I just want you to know that. Alright, enough to get around them. Chaka. I'll take this little thing. Mr. X is not happy, which means we don't get a lot of time to waste. Here, just take my knife. My love, my anger, and all of my knives. Shining shotgun sword. That second Gangle man must have like been so stunned at how blatantly I was running towards him that he didn't even grab me. Alright, we're fine. Mr. X is right there, but we're fine. Everything's cool, man. Everything's cool in the mind of a Gangle man. Because Gangle motherfuckers think deep. Okay, I have 1 knife left, so if I run past you and get grabbed, I should have the briefest bit of invincibility to get around this guy. Man. Now, how far does Mr. X follow you? Can he come into this room? Probably not, because they give speeches in here. And they don't want him waffle stomping around, ruining the acoustics. All right. Well, we did a real good job, question mark. I say we got good use out of them 3 knives. Knives are, we need a knife, or it's beneficial to have a knife during the upcoming Billy B fight, which we have at least 1 in our box. And if things get impossible, I can use the infinite knife, even though, once again, it'll disqualify this from being uploaded to Twin Galaxies. But what can you do at that point? Alright, I want the final fanny pack upgrade. And to use the muff detector in its spot where that name originally comes from. The MUF spot. You're like, actually it would be pronounced moof. It's Swedish. I am detecting much moof tonight on the fjord. Was that Swedish sounding? That zombie that woke up. Oh, and some of the ones from the kitchen like to appear in here just to fucking bother you. Whatever. Ain't nobody got time for that nonsense. Oh yeah, he doesn't wake up until you hit this thing. How many of y'all furiously, if this had been a stream, would have been typing in the chat? You wouldn't even have to been typing that I was forgetting the muff detector. You would just spam the muff detector emoji that surely would exist. Luckily, there's a box right here. Hey, Homestar, I can store items from here. That's some great inventory management, original vibes. Who ate the blue herb out of my RGB full heal? And how? Oh no, did I activate? Yeah, I did. God damn it. I've caused myself so much unnecessary woe and strife. Actually, I think we can use this to our advantage. I'm going to use a controversial technique that I'm telling you about all in advance because it'll look like I'm fucking up when I'm not. We're actually going to try to adjust the difficulty before the Billy B fight, which means we need to take a bunch of damage. So let's just run out here and get grabbed by this asshole. How many of y'all got spooked solid, voice? That was a jump scare. And there you go. Now when we get to Billy B, the game's going to be like, oh, that poor little feller, son. Got a chunk bit out of Billy B. You're going in with 65% HV. Billy B just rolls his giant eyeball in his arm. And there, and the game's, I guess, difficulty adjust director. It's like, I saw that. Okay. All right. We know what we're doing. We've always known what we were doing. That's the secret to recording yourself playing Resident Evil for the internet. I need to regenerate my neck meat. Give me a second. There we go. Okay, man, I'm thinking the crane yard fight is tough. But this fight without, like, Magnum or flamethrower, not going to be simple either. And no infinite knife, so I can't just rely on, like, tanking hits. I don't even think any shotgun shells appear. There are materials to mix one more big batch, and that might be the last shotgun shells in the whole playthrough. I mean, we want as many as you can get for the final boss, but the final boss fight is more about surviving, you know, until Ada decides that she's withheld the rocket launcher long enough. Okay, and I believe damaging Mr. X just makes that happen sooner. That might be a complete lie. It might just be my headcanon, but I believe it. That's complete horseshit, and I believe it. Blue herbs for me, 'cause I've been a good boy. Okay. The arena. Yeah, there's a first aid spray. I think at least one flashbang and maybe one hand grenade we can grab. But the Magnum ammo, the flamethrower ammo, and the plentiful handgun ammo. Did I say that? I confused it with Magnum. I'm sorry. Okay. So, you know, 34 shotgun shells. More than enough to kill anything that moves, hopefully, if we're lucky. All right, we're going to finish getting some heals and deals and squeals. All right, what are we going to take out there with us against Billy B? I mean, it's not a bad inventory when you break it down to its key elements. Okay, we actually need room for the 2 knives. Gee, Leon, I thought a guy with 2 knives in his inventory would be happy. Now you're thinking of a guy with 2 magnums. Cut to Barry Burton holding the Desert Eagle in one hand and the Colt Python in the other. And he's like, I got to tell you, Jill, this is pretty terrific. That was a fucking organic 10 fucking Simpsons reference, son. I'm proud of us. for the work we accomplished right then. Okay. If I can't beat him with this inventory, I just can't fucking beat him. So let's go for it.
Ha sido fácil. Vale, de vuelta con Ada.
Let's on delay back to Ada indeed. Hopefully nothing bad will happen and me and Ada can just hang out at the bolt shop, share a few laughs. Oh no, I saw the handgun in his hand. It was so uncanny that I flinched. Alright, the plan with you... When he goes to grab one of them things to throw at you, that's the best time to shoot him in the eyeball in his back. Well, I'll be fucking damned. Took a chunk out of my back. Weapon fucking X. Couldn't have hurt me more. I'm tempted to shoot him in that eyeball right then. I mean, we could use a few of these shotgun shells on him. We ain't got to save them all for Final Tyrant. Staggered. Deal with it. Alright, he's going for that shit, which means we can shoot him in that eyeball, get a slash for free. He's going to get real indignant, shoot him in this meaty thigh. Oh, we've already shot his meaty thigh eyeball. It's the big arm eyeball, the most obvious one that I missed. Oh no. He just lightly tapped me. I'm getting fucking bullied by Billy B, of all people, the huge fucking nerd. There. This is the part where you fall down and get knifed in your chest eyeballs. Alright, we gotta go nuts deep neck bones here and get as much damage as we can, even if it means taking a little love tap from Billy B at the end of this. That thing's got Thaco. Okay, hitboxes. Once again, I did not realize that we had started playing Dark Souls 2 all of a sudden, and that hitboxes are complete fucking horseshit. Made up. William Riker is gonna appear. Be like, that enemy's hitbox, a fake. We made it up. Edited the wiki. Okay. Alright. Hopefully he gets in the real ornery mode and goes phase 3. Because then we can get a shitload of damage off on him. Okay, keep swiping. Damn, I broke it. I was going to try to keep it for a little bit more gangle insurance at the end. No, Leon, pull your knife out. What are you doing? I missed out on so much free damage. It's free damage real estate, as they say. Okay. I mean, I knew I was going to get hit there, but I was talking a lot of shit. So I think we all knew it now. Alright, we can't goad him as easily into attacking when we want him to as we could before. I've still got a little bit of damage shield. There we go. Come on, difficulty adjust. Take pity on me. Look, I've been intentionally taking damage the whole fight. Wink, wink, nudge, nudge. So now's your chance to show everybody how forgiving and accommodating you are. How much humanity you have programmed into you. AI subroutine. I didn't know his shit fit lasted that long, or I wouldn't have went in there and got bodied so bad. Alright, this is moment of truth. We've got to decide if we're actually going to beat him here, if we're going to have to reload a save. Okay. I think we figured out the answer. Let's play a little bit smarter next time. Alright, let's be less arrogant this time. How's that sound? You're like, Tenfei, unarrogant? Is such a thing possible? What a novel concept. I'm hoping we can use flashbangs to stagger him long enough to get some slices. And then we could just save all those fragmentation grenades for Mr. X when he comes to give it to us. When he pop opens up the door. Hey, dipshit, show me that eyeball arm. Ooh. Hey, dipshit, I'm gonna cause you harm. Yeah, you can slice. You can die. Oh, move your meaty thigh at the last second. That's real mature. Every shot I miss just makes the difficulty adjust more in my favor, son. It's like even when I miss, I win. Whew, I can't believe I actually got out of the way. Okay, good. That's just what I wanted. You've played right into my machinations, son. And my imagination. Oh, boys, we got him staggered on his knees, son. Layla, give me the strength to knife this man. Run away, run away, run away and save your knife. Meaty eyeball arms. He gets hardier in the second stage. Oh, he's doing his fucking dream super combo. Can you even pop the eyeballs with the knife? Booyah. Oh no, I didn't know he could channel that. If he must have burned meter. I never saw that in practice mode. Do your big overhead slam. Come on and slam. And welcome to the jam. One cheeky cut. Just one little cheeky, sneaky cut. He won't notice. That'd be me if I was Stanley Kubrick's editor. I'm like, I'm just going to take these 3 frames and remove them. And when we're setting at the screening, the moment that part of the movie plays on the screen, Stanley Kubrick just stands up and starts screaming. And everyone in the room turns and looks at me. I'm like, what did I do? I was hoping we can goad him into picking up another one of them things. Because I don't know if he takes damage from it when he drops it and it bursts into flames. But it makes me feel better. It's a placebo effect. When you knife burning Billy Birkin, you can't prove that it's actually doing anything good for you, but it just feels good. Wholesome. Yeah, you're going to throw big fit. He always goes to throw that big tower thing right to start with on this phase. So you don't have to fear him. You can just put the knife beats into his side. Now we run away. Like heroes! Don't forget we brought these with us to hopefully soothe the savageries. I find an incredibly loud, jarring noise and a burst of bright, eyeball-destroying light calms most creatures. Okay, that would have been a chance to get some sneaky knifing in, but I got scared. I was just so scared. Alright, let's see what happens. We replaced Leon's knife with a flashbang grenade. Let's see if Billy B notices. I like that squishy noise. Squishy noise means naughty boys are taking lots of damage. Okay. He was burning full EX shit fit. Son, I weren't expecting it. The people don't use that strat. Not since Evo fucking 2014 has that antiquated strat been used. That's why I wasn't expecting it. I really would like to save flashbangs. Okay, we're going to do this. Run up, get some cheeky, sneaky, breaky knifing in. Run away like heroes. Oh no, I'm backed into a corner like a true hero. He's going to jump. Looks like he's going to have to jump. Oh god. Okay. Okay. Oh no, heal. Heal! I wasn't nervous, and neither were you kids at home. That's what gives me power. Is how nonchalantly I know y'all are sitting there watching this, yawning. It doesn't even register as a threat to y'all. You're like, oh, is he in there playing with Billy B again? It's like when Freakazoid beats up his older brother Duncan. Or I guess he's Dexter Douglas, his older brother, but I mean, technically they're the same person, right? Rich Freakazoid lore. I know that's the main reason you tune into 10 favorite Resident Evil playthroughs, and I'm going to give it to you. You deserve a better class of Kids WV reference, and I'm going to give it to you. Okay. Thank God. That leaves exactly 8 shells in our shotgun to deal with Mr. X at the end of the game. Thank God we're staggering our saves. Okay, good. Good and great. Great and good.
Objetivo neutralizado. Fin de la cuarentena. Atención. Detectada extracción no autorizada de virus de nivel 4.
Hand grenades for me. That's flamethrower fuel. I don't go near the stuff. Additional flashbangs. That's magnum bullets. That's 9mm. Here's a first aid spray. Even at the end of the game, you can spray those mortal wounds away. I'm just checking. They're handgun bullets. I just wanted you kids at home to know. And, okay. Well, we definitely have grenades for Mr. X. I ain't got the patience for Annette Birkin, even in Espanol. But you know, this dramatic scene coming up, we're going to have to watch a little bit of, son. You know your abuelita demands it. The good shit. And she deserves it. God bless her heart. Okay. So what is going to be our final ordinance? We're going to pick up an additional knife on the way down there. You can use the knife against the final Mr. X. It's just very difficult. I think there's a strat where you can like strafe around him just right. And he never really gets a hold of you. I'd like to think that's true. I'd like to believe that lie.
Secuencia de autodestrucción iniciada. Use el ascensor.
Justo estaba pensando en ti.
Pues ya somos 2. Estaba preocupada.
Hacemos buen equipo. Pero quiero saber algo.
Podemos irnos. Por favor, dime que lo tienes.
Ah, lo tengo.
Deja que verifique la muestra y nos largamos.
Antes de eso, hablé con Annette. Dice que no eres del FBI.
Oh, Leon. ¿Por qué no me has dado la muestra?
Porque he visto que quería...
Oh no, it became so non-canon I had to skip it. We don't get to see the dramatic bridge fall. Ludonarrative dissonance stole that away from us, son. I'm going to have to write a 3.5-hour video essay on it. Okay. Well, the fact that we can save before the final Mr. X fight means that even if I get bodied over and over and over again, son, I just keep coming back. It's the only tool in my tool bag. I hate to bring up Natsuki, Subaru, and ReZero so much, but it's just such a perfect analogy for saving and loading in a video game. Do you want me to switch to Undertale? I think Deputy Kennedy has enough determination to take down the hyper god of death, Big Claw Mr. X.
¿Quién es?
son. Just like in the Claire Dare Revolver, how Deputy Kennedy was being rendered incorrectly without his hat. Son, Sheriff Redfield was so out of uniform that I couldn't even stand the sight of it. Alright, I don't remember if there's a typewriter right before Mr. X. I know there's an item box, so we are going to save right there, just in case. We're literally erasing the Claire Dare Revolver timeline as we do this, because I'm saving over those games. It's like poetic in its own unique way. We're going to try ignore them fucking Gangleman strats. They don't always work, as you can see. But if you've got nearly broken knives to spare. My favorite OC, Harry Potter, Scott Pilgrim crossover, Hogwarts ghost character. That's a stretch. Just take nearly headless Nick and put a Patar earring on him, and take Knives Chow and put a Patar earring on her, and you make that character. Could have made that very easily a Trigun reference too, but I didn't. Whenever you're making an anime or anime-inspired joke about the name Knives, you always have two paths you can follow. Trigun or Scott Pilgrim. You got to know when to use one and when to use other. When to hold one and when to fold one.
¡Tengo que conseguir!
A doozy of a fall. Alright, so remember, we've got to take the plugs with us. Bring me the plugs. I guess there wasn't a typewriter here, so I'm glad we remembered to save. Alright, what is the plan? Okay, we actually don't have to have that in our inventory, so that's good. Okay, alright. So we need as many grenades as we can bring. We have to decide now whether to spec defense or offense, because we could leave a heal and take an additional hand grenade with us. And we definitely want these flashbangs just in case. So one first aid spray could be sacrificed for the flashbang future. Oh wait, it's not what I'm going to do. I'm going to equip it. One thing we can do, to be cheeky, is go ahead and eat one of these RGB heals. Alright. Of course, the person upstairs is running their sink, so I'm going to sit here for a second. If I forget to edit this out, just know that that's why this section is here. Alright, it's somewhat stopped. Alright. I'm sure we've got this by the ass. Got this by the caboose. I was too worried about potential thumbnails that I got slatted. I'm gonna get hit. I deserved it too, but at least I called it. Okay, I'm doing a really bad job of dealing with this motherfucker. I knew we could stagger him ever so briefly if we space out our remaining shells. I thought for sure I was gonna get hit right there. So my current plan is to try to flashbang him and then knife him in the brief period where he's stunned. My God, have we achieved Ultra Instinct? No! The moment we believed in ourselves and our knife capabilities, the moment we showed that arrogance was when he had to humble us. Okay, I could have done a better job of dodging that. I agree. We're on the same page. Whenever I fuck up in a Resident Evil game, just know, oh God, please hit him. Please hit him. Okay, the Rubble actually slowed him as well. Barney Rubble sacrificed himself like Piccolo for Gohan to give us this opportunity to keep knifing. We actually staggered him with the knife. Boys, not since Jiren in the Tournament of Power. Oh shit. I must have done a good job.
Estamos en paz.
Well, I guess the difficulty adjust from getting bodied so bad and having so little ammo must have gave him really low health. Okay, here's the plan. We're going to distract him with just a handful of hand grenades. Son, if that ain't the biggest, greenest, most rectangular shotgun I ever laid eyes on. It's like where you're like, Deputy Kennedy, that's a yep, a rocket shotgun. Damnedest thing I ever seen. Hasta la vista, baby. Well, since we were left with ordnance, like we're not usually are, I guess we can actually fight this pack of zombies with an actual shotgun and grenades and just have fun bodying them. I believe they have extremely low HP. I scringed and saved the whole play. This playthrough is like analogous to a JRPG. I scringed and saved all my elixirs and turbo ethers and X potions, and in a game I couldn't even use all of them.
Minutos para la detonación.
Tengo que salir. No me creo que la eche de menos.
¡Leon!
Lo logramos.
Tal y como te dije.
Well, there you go, y'all. That was overall not too bad an experience. I may have made a few snakes here and there, but we kept the heart of the shotgun all the way through. You're like, yeah, until you use the rocket launcher at the end. And I before I can even draw in the breath to start explaining to you how you literally can't beat, like Mr. X is coded to only be, destroyed by the rocket launcher, just like most tyrants in Resident Evil. You just already got your phone out. You're already shit posting about me on the Discord. But no, I think we had a good time. I appreciate y'all watching it. I guess it's kind of weirdly out of order to watch the Claire Dare Revolver playthrough before this one, you know, as far as the events of the game go, but yeah, you can watch them in either order, I suppose. Yeah, they get different context based on the order you watch them in. It's very meta. The rich, deep tapestry that is the Tien Fei grander narrative. But anyway, there you all go, son. We doled out a little bit of shotgun justice. I realize I probably didn't say that enough during playthrough. Son, it's only after everything was over I realized that all the time shotgun justice went unsaid.